Happy hump day, all you weather geeks. It is time for Weather Geeks on this Wednesday afternoon. Hope you're enjoying a pretty nice day out there. There's not much of a breeze. We've got sunshine and a sea of fair weather cumulus clouds all over the place today. But these are innocuous clouds, not rain producers. And yes, it's cooler than average. But with a lack of breeze and the sunshine, it feels pretty darn nice to be outside this afternoon. 65, the temperature just before 2 o'clock in Youngstown, and similar numbers all throughout northeast Ohio and into western parts of Pennsylvania as well. As we zoom out and take a look at the rest of the country, let the satellite load up here. We've got a few areas of unsettled weather, Missouri, northeastern Arkansas as well, right along the Mississippi River. And then the big story is actually out west, where a big-time flooding concern is really unfolding as a result of our tropical system moving north out of the Baja of California and impacting parts of Arizona and New Mexico right now. They just had a big flooding problem here a couple of weeks ago, and so this is not what they need. Here's the center of our low-pressure system, moisture pumping in on the east side of this, so especially southeastern Arizona around Tucson and heading over into central and southwestern parts of New Mexico, we are going to have a problem with several inches worth of rain, and that is not what they need out there. They need the rain just in small doses. They can't handle all that rain at one time. Lots of wildfires going on in California. They could use some of that rain, but unfortunately, aside from the northwestern corner of the state, they're not going to get any anytime real soon out across California. I'll take off the temperatures here, and across the U.S. today, the heat is pretty much confined down to the Gulf Coast region and in parts of the Plain States as well. It's in the 80s in a lot of spots, but notice how comfortable the air is in much of the eastern two-thirds of the country, especially north of, say, Atlanta and north of Myrtle Beach. And then you run into some bona fide chilly air just across the border. There's a cold front up here, and north of that front, mid-afternoon temperatures right up to the border between U.S. and Canada are in the 30s. To around 40. Now that front's coming south, but it's going to lose steam as it does so, and won't have much of an impact on our weather at all over the next couple of days. So a little bit of good news there. Well, if you've been noticing lately that it's getting darker a lot earlier than it used to, and it's getting light later than it used to in the morning, well, of course, we're in that time of the year where we're losing daylight rapidly. I put this on social media yesterday. We're losing about 2 minutes and 42 seconds worth of daylight now every single day, and this is the fastest rate that we lose daylight for the whole year. We got to this 2 minute and 42 second mark yesterday, and we will lose 2 minutes and 42 seconds through the first week of October. So what's that going to do to our sunrises and sunsets? Well, today's the 17th, sunrise 7:05, sunset 7:28. Well, 2 weeks from yesterday is the last day of the month, and by then, the sunrise is all the way up to 7:18, the sunset approaching 7 o'clock, 7:06. So, yeah, we're losing the daylight really rapidly as we transition into the fall season. Of course, autumn begins next week on the 22nd. I think it's in the evening officially. And then as we head into October, we'll continue losing daylight quickly. And by the end of October, sunsets will be around 6 o'clock, and then the first week of November is when we change the clocks, and that's when the sunset all of a sudden is like at 5 o'clock, and a lot of people don't like that. But, you know, everybody who complains about the changing of the clocks, daylight savings time, standard time, and says we just shouldn't mess with it, well, you got to keep in mind that if we didn't fall back, that by November and especially December, the sunrise wouldn't be until 9 a.m., and that doesn't sound real appealing either. So, you know, it's not great either way. That's life at this latitude, unfortunately. All right, fall color, not really kicking in officially yet. Sure, you look on some of the trees around town, especially on the maple trees, you're seeing little hints of color here and there, but it's not really enough to justify a low color ranking here on the foliagenetwork.com. Great site for fall foliage across the Midwest. Now, in the Northeast, up in the higher terrain, especially the Green and White Mountains in Vermont and New Hampshire, heading down towards the Catskills, the Adirondacks, and the Poconos, we're starting to see some low amounts of color there, and this is really going to start to rapidly increase over the next couple of weeks. We traditionally reach our peak fall foliage here in northeast Ohio and western PA during the 3rd and 4th weeks of October. So roughly, say, from the 17th through the 27th, a kind of 10-day window, about a month from right now, is when we traditionally see our peak colors. And it should be a pretty good year. The triggering mechanism for the leaves to change colors is not precipitation, it is not temperature, but it's daylight, it's sunlight. And the less sunlight we get, that's more and more of a trigger for them to change colors, again, at different paces depending on what kind of tree it is. Now, different levels of precipitation during the summer and early fall can have some influence on the quality of the foliage season, but the process is triggered by the reduction in sunlight. All right, as far as our weather goes, as we've been talking about all week, it's smooth sailing through the end of the week. Modest warming trend by Friday. We should be up around 70. And as we head into the weekend, here's Saturday. High pressure is off the east coast on this day, and a nice southwest wind develops. Saturday's going to be a nice day, above average, 77 degrees maybe Saturday afternoon, gusty breeze at times. That's the better half of the weekend, as we've been advertising, because Sunday's not a washout, but I do think there'll be a shower or two around. And as this cold front pushes in, there could even be a thunderstorm in spots on Sunday. But it doesn't look to me like it's any kind of all-day rain at all. You probably can get in quite a bit of outdoor activities on Sunday in between the raindrops. So we head into next week, the story becomes another shot of chilly air. There could be some residual pop-up lake-enhanced showers on Monday. If this were January, we'd be talking about lake-effect snow. But it's September, so it's lake-effect rain showers on Monday. That could be a day where we struggle to get out of the lower 60s. And then next Tuesday, week from yesterday, despite some sunshine, that could be a day where, it's hard-pressed to get much warmer than 61, 62 degrees. And if clouds were to be more of a problem than it looks like, we might even stay in the 50s. I suspect our forecast will say lower 60s, but there's an outside chance that if clouds really hose us a little bit, that could be a very chilly day coming up next Tuesday. That's today's weather for Weather Geeks. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you'll join me tonight on 21 News at 6 and 11. Jess is back in the studio tomorrow morning after spending the morning today at the Racino in Austintown. Looks like she had a great time there, and she'll be back with your updated forecast on WFMJ today, first thing tomorrow morning. Have a great day.